Wow, what a wonderful morning for such a festive occasion. If you would please remain standing for presentation of colors and singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. If there's a question about the fact that talent runs deep at WVSOM, that was just removed. It's my great pleasure and treat to introduce Dr. Edelman, President and Chief of all. Dr. Edelman.
Well, thank you, Dr. Leach. Please join me in thanking Sergeant Smith and the Greenbrier East Junior ROTC Color Guard. They did a great job. And I also want to thank our graduating student, Julie Peterson, for singing the national anthem. Didn't she do an amazing job? Also, please help me thank Jeff Bryan and the Greenbrier River Brass Ensemble. Gentlemen. Good morning, distinguished guests, students, members of the faculty, administrative staff, employees, members of the graduating class of 2013, families and friends. Welcome to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine's 36th commencement ceremony. This morning, I'm pleased and honored to be joined on the platform party by many distinguished guests. I'd like to take a moment at this time to recognize a few individuals and I ask you to please hold your applause until I've finished representing them. Please join me on the platform today are O.J. Bales, DO, one of our 4 founders of WVSOM. Dr. Bales. Okay, we'll try that again. Cheryl Schreiber, Vice Chair of the Board of Governors of WVSOM. Sure, let it go. That's good. Okay. David Hendrickson, JD, Chair of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission.
Well, now you hold it.
Paul Hill, PhD, Chancellor of the West Virginia Higher Education Association. Let's see. Bruce Berry, MD, Vice Chair of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. Robert Holstein, DO, President of the WVSOM Alumni Association. Ralph Wood, DO, President of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association. Lorenzo Pence, DO, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean. And Jim Nemitz, PhD, Vice President for Administration and External Relations. I'd also like to recognize several individuals who are friends and supporters of WVSOM and who are also in the audience today. Again, please hold your applause. First, members of our Board of Governors. The Chair of WVSOM Board of Governors, Dr. Rodney Fink, DO. Dr. Fink. Sue Holvey, RN, JD. David Rader, Ed Dugan, PhD, and Cindy Knight. Please welcome all of us. I'd also like to recognize Heather Antolini, a previous board member and now joining WVSOM as our new Director of Institutional Advancement. Larry Ware, our Vice President for Finance and Facilities. Marilee Butcher, Associate Vice President for Administrative Affairs. Leslie Bixler, Associate Vice President for Human Resources. Jeffrey Shawver, General Counsel. Senator William Laird, Delegate George Campbell, and Delegate Ray Canterbury. And I'd also like to recognize my amazing wife, Dr. Cheryl Edelman. Please join me in welcoming all of these individuals. Graduates, it's my pleasure to welcome you on this very special day. Today, you're going to join the ranks of the medical world of osteopathic physicians. Before going any further, I'd like the class of 2013 to please rise. Class of 2013, I know that in the audience today you have parents, spouses, friends, and relatives who have assisted and supported you over these years as you pursued your dream of becoming an osteopathic physician. This is your chance to publicly show your thanks and appreciation. Please join me in applauding these very important people. Thank you. You may be seated. You're about to become graduates of one of the finest medical schools in the country. WVSOM has a reputation as a leader in graduating physicians of the highest caliber. Our school has been nationally ranked by U.S. News & World Report for 15 consecutive years. This year, we're 9th in the nation in rural medicine, 13th in family medicine, and we rank 3rd in the percentage of all students entering primary care residency programs. In addition, academic medicine ranked WVSOM as the #1 school in the United States for producing physicians who practice in rural communities. I'm extremely proud of the school and of what you and those that have come before you have accomplished. You too should be very proud of your individual accomplishments and that of your class and of your school. Quality, excellence, commitment, and caring. That's what makes an excellent osteopathic physician, and we expect no less from each of you. You will have patients' lives in your hands. That's an awesome responsibility, and I know that you're well prepared for that role. I'm confident that you will continue to represent yourselves and the school with the same level of enthusiasm, service, and professionalism that you have demonstrated over these past 4 years. You now embark upon a new chapter in your life. As you enter your residency programs, I wish you all the best. Good luck and congratulations, class of 2013. I'm very proud of you. I'd now like to introduce our first speaker. Please welcome the Vice Chair of the Board of Governors, Ms. Cheryl Schreiber.
Good morning. I bring you greetings from the Board of Governors. I first came to this campus in 1974 when my husband enrolled in the first class at WVSOM. There were 36 students in that first class, very different than the amount of students you have today. But the campus the main building housed everything at that point in time. There was, the faculty was there, the classrooms were there, the quadrangle was there, looking much different than it does today. You have a very beautiful campus today that has grown so much over these last years. I attended the very first graduation when my husband graduated, and I'm very honored to be here today for your 36th graduation. I recently read an article that said it was from a speaker who talked about his graduations that he attended and that he didn't remember anything that was spoken at his graduations, too concerned with the activities of the day. But he thought the graduation speaker's charge was to give a piece of advice that would be useful in life. And as I went to prepare for this speech, I asked advice from the people here at school. And they gave me 3 pieces of advice you might find interesting. Wear something cool under your gown. It's very hot under the lights. Don't drink too much at breakfast. And realize that as long as you speak, that's as long as graduation keeps lasting. So I will try to make my speech short. My advice to you is that it's the people in your life that make all the difference. You've met numerous people here during your time at school, your faculty, your friends. Keep them as you continue on in life. I've been involved with the osteopathic profession for almost 40 years now, and if it wasn't for the people that I had met along the way, I would not be here today. I'm very proud of this school. I'm very proud of the community here. When my husband started, we started with a very family-oriented atmosphere, and today that continues, and hopefully that will continue long into the future. Life is very interesting. Life can be challenging. I don't believe anyone is perfect. Learn from your mistakes, but please, remember the school, remember the friends that you have made here, because as I said, I think it's the people in your life that make all the difference. Have fun and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Schreiber. Next, please welcome the president of the WVSOM Alumni Association, Dr. Robert Holstein.
Wow, I look at you guys and I think you're the best looking graduating class we've ever had. Seriously, I've said that for 4 years and I really mean it this time, you know. I lied before, but I really mean it. You are so good looking that I think that we could start our own reality TV show. I really do. Think about it. Duck Dynasty, you know, or Duck Wild, that would be good, or Dr. Kardashian, D.O., that would bring some real attention there. But you look good, and so I want you to be thinking about that, because do you really want to be a doctor and, you know, help people who are sick and, you know, bring comfort to people, or you could make millions doing reality TV shows. So let's think about, I want to be your agent, okay? Trust me, I'm a D.O. We can do this together. But now I've got to get serious. I've got to give you my speech, and I'm going to say this. The Alumni Association provides opportunities for scholarships and grants to the WVSOM student body. We create quality, ongoing, continuing medical education programs for WVSOM alumni and fellow physicians across the United States. We are also proud sponsors of the Clock Tower campaign for the new Student Center, committed to raising $250,000 in your honor and for the enjoyment of the multitude of students to follow your path. We are the living link between West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine and all WVSOM alumni. The WVSOM Alumni Clock Tower will stand 125 feet tall, towering above the city of Lewisburg and serving as a beacon to the community, to travelers and aspiring DO hopefuls such as yourselves. It will serve as a symbol of strength, perseverance, and commitment, reminding our state leaders and the citizens of West Virginia that this school of healing remains stalwart in its commitment to its mission. It has indeed fulfilled that mission from its inception to this very moment and will continue to do so for many moments to come. WVSOM and the WVSOM Alumni Association will continue our commitment to that mission, which states in part, WVSOM is dedicated to serve first and foremost the state of West Virginia and the special health care needs of its residents, emphasizing primary care in rural areas. Class of 2013, you are a part of that history, and as WVSOM alumni, your excellence in medical service as DOs will be a towering symbol of WVSOM's excellence in medical education. You will be the beacon of healing, reflecting the caring and compassion of osteopathic medicine. You will be the symbol of strength, perseverance, and commitment imputed to you by the founders of WVSOM. Class of 2013, you will be the living alumni tower. You will be the beacon of light, drawing others to this school and to the osteopathic profession. Thank you, and may God bless you, and may God bless WVSOM.
Thank you, Dr. Holstein. Our next speaker is the president of the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Ralph Wood.
Greetings and congratulations to the class of 2013 from the West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association. I'm Dr. Ralph Wood, president, and a 1982 graduate of WVSOM. The West Virginia Osteopathic Medical Association is the voice of the osteopathic physician in West Virginia, and I am proud and honored to represent you as association president. We were founded in 1902 as the West Virginia Society of Osteopathic Medicine, and West Virginia OMA has served West Virginia osteopathic physicians and medical students for over 100 years. There are 1,150 DOs licensed in the state of West Virginia. Our goal is that every one of them are in our community of physicians. Serving our members and improving health care in West Virginia are top priorities for us. Our members serve on numerous state and national health care committees dedicated to improving the quality of care in West Virginia and the nation. One of the most important roles we play in the state is serving as your voice with the West Virginia legislature. We play a vital role in influencing health legislation and improving the quality of care. West Virginia OMA is dedicated to supporting the osteopathic profession. We are the voice of the osteopathic physician in West Virginia. Let's keep our profession strong. Let's make our voices heard. Please get involved with your state osteopathic associations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speakers from the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. This year, we're blessed not with one speaker, but with all three of the leaders of the Higher Education Policy Commission. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Our first speaker, David Hendrickson, JD, currently serves as the Commission's chairman. Since 2006, he has worked to provide greater opportunities in higher education for students and the state of West Virginia. He has been a representative for the West Virginia's higher education system as a member of the National Association of Governing Boards of the Universities and Colleges Council of Board Chairs. Mr. Hendrickson is the founding managing partner of Hendrickson and Long PLLC. Our second speaker is Bruce Berry, MD, Vice Chair for the Commission. Dr. Berry recently retired as the Medical Director at Colombo and Stir. He has had a private practice in obstetrics and gynecology for nearly 30 years in Charleston, West Virginia. Dr. Berry is a medical educator, having served as clinical instructor, clinical assistant instructor, and clinical associate professor at both WVU and WVSOM. Chancellor Paul Hill, PhD, will bring the final remarks on behalf of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. He has more than 25 years of experience in academic research, grant administration, and public policy development, and has held CEO positions in state, federal, and private organizations. He previously served as the Commission's interim chancellor, Vice Chancellor for Science and Research, and Executive Director of the West Virginia Experimental Program to Stimulate Competitive Research, where he helped design and manage a number of research initiatives with academic institutions, including ours. Recently, Dr. Hill became a member of the State Higher Education Executive Officers Federal Relations Committee and was appointed by Governor Earl Ray Tomlin to the Southern Regional Education Board. All three of these gentlemen are passionate educators and administrators who give of themselves tirelessly and wholeheartedly. The West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine is honored to have them here with us today. So please welcome all three of our keynote speakers from the Higher Education Policy Commission. And we are going to start with Chairman Hendrickson.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? First thing we got to do is got to get rid of these and put on the real hat. Now we're ready to graduate. Since we've known Dr. Edelman for quite some time, he's one of the best presidents in the system that we have, and we always kid him when he comes to our meetings that the one thing you're lacking at your school is a football team. And so last night, while you all were probably contemplating graduation over a favorite libation, Dr. Edelman was busy creating a football team, and so today we're proud to unveil Dr. Rodney Fink, our quarterback, is in the back of the room, and if he would stand and show his colors. I'd just like to point out a couple things about our football team. We are very old and we'll be looking for a team physician. So applications will be outside when you leave today. The second thing is that you've heard of the Pac-10, the Big Ten, the ACC. We're the geriatric four. But the best news of all, Coach Edelman's undefeated. We've never lost a game. We've never been scored upon. We've never been tied. We're undefeated. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors, distinguished faculty, alumni, and guests, and soon-to-be graduates. On behalf of the Higher Education Policy Commission, I'm pleased to be here today on this beautiful campus for a wonderful day that each of the graduates and their families will remember for the rest of their lives. 31 years ago, I know I don't look that old, but I am. I remember sitting where you are thinking, oh my God, am I really ready for this? Are they really going to turn me loose on society? And what I didn't realize then that I do now is that your learning has really just begun. But don't fret. The past few years, you've had a rare opportunity to attend classes and state-of-the-art facilities, including interactive, real-life laboratories, clinics, and learn firsthand from the best and the brightest faculty members in the United States, your faculty here. But your education wasn't confined to this campus. I'm certain that from living and studying in the coolest small town in America and traveling the region as a statewide campus, you've developed a fondness for our state's beauty and hardworking, compassionate people
that live within these mountains. I'm very proud of your sense of community. It is evident in the many contributions you've made to this area. When the governor declared a statewide day to serve in 2012, you all answered the call by doing free health screenings. When the Lewisburg Fairleigh Food Locker was running low on food at Thanksgiving time last year, I'm told you all donated generously so folks could have a nice Thanksgiving meal. In fact, I'm told these are just not isolated incidents, but you've made many, many impacts upon this community. You provide Christmas for kids that couldn't afford it. You've raised money for Alzheimer's Association and other great organizations like that. And you've also taken to heart and promoted children who die way too young in our state. And all that you've done is evident that you care. You care about this institution, you care about this community, and you care about our great state of West Virginia. But most importantly, you care for those who can't care for themselves. For many of you, think about this. One of these days, you may be the only health care provider in a community, in a town, or in a county. And they'll be depending on you to use your wisest judgment to help them through troubled times. Please take the lessons you've learned here, the compassion and the service you learned and showcased, and use that in your new professional careers. When you leave here today, remember to look back. Look back at your educational journey that brought you here today. Look back at that moment, and we all had them in a professional school, and you thought, in no way I'm going to make it out of here. Remember that day and cherish that thought. Look back at this campus and the community and the time you spent here and cherish it in your heart. And always remember, you're graduating from a world-class institution located in a small town with a huge heart, and you have the ability to make a difference, not only to your patients, but your community and to society. You are the physicians of tomorrow. I'll close by saying my grandfather, who lived through 2 world wars and poverty in the Great Depression, was not an educated man, but he knew the value of a higher education. And as a young boy when I was growing up, he used to tell me, always dream big, always reach for the stars. And he used to tell me, son, you never know if you can hit a home run unless you swing for the fences. And 30 years from now, if I'm still around and I run across one of you, I hope you'll come up to me with a smile on your face and say, Dave, I swung for the fences every day. God bless you. Thank you for this humbling experience, and good luck to you in the future.
I couldn't let the attorney be the only one to wear the physician's hat. And also last night when I got my jersey, I heard somebody say, well, he could play wide receiver. And then under somebody's breath, I heard, yeah, very wide receiver. President Edelman, West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, and our quarterback, Dr. Fink, faculty, staff, parents, spouses, significant others, and you guys, the class of 2013. Great to be here. It's my honor to participate in this graduation ceremony. As a fellow doctor, I know the extreme joy you're feeling today. Man, it's glad to be done. Is it nice? And joy for all you have accomplished. Now, this joy does not come without an obligation to your profession and your patients. I personally know the major role you will play in the lives of your future patients. For many of your patients, you will be the only medical provider available. You will serve as hope and inspiration, and don't ever forget that. From your interactions in your community and throughout the state, you've witnessed firsthand the important role of medical providers, especially physicians, and what they play in the lives of local residents in the entire community. To those native West Virginians who are graduating today and planning to stay in the great state of West Virginia, Thank you. Thank you for giving back to a state that provided you an avenue to find your passion and pursue your dreams. And this is what I did after my residency, came back to practice in West Virginia. To those of you who are new to West Virginia and are graduating today and planning to remain in this great state, thank you. And remember, once you're a West Virginian, you're always a West Virginian. Thank you for answering the call, a call that in recent years has become even more important due to the state's aging population and growing health issues. As each of you know, West Virginia is a rural state, but we're not alone. According to the Bureau of Health Professions and the Health Resources and Services Administration, 1 in 5 U.S. residents live in a rural area, but only 9% of physicians practice in rural areas. This institution has done a most remarkable job in combating this issue, and especially in West Virginia. As Dr. Edelman said earlier, you are the #1 among all medical schools, according to the 2012 annual report, in graduating primary care physicians practicing in rural areas. #1. President Edelman, you, as well as your faculty and staff, are to be commended for your outstanding record in the placement of graduates in rural communities. Of West Virginia educated physicians graduating from 1981 to 2006, practicing in rural West Virginia, over 1/2 of those graduates came from the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. You represent over 1/2 of the physicians practicing primary rural care. Through active involvement in matching graduates with rural sites, you have provided our citizens with what they need: access to quality health care. Graduates from this institution represent the highest number of practicing physicians in all specialties in over 1/2 of West Virginia's counties. Your track record of placement and excellence in education is well known across the state and throughout this nation. And as Dr. Edelman said earlier, for the 15th consecutive year, you have been ranked among the best, 9th in rural medicine and 13th in family medicine. Guys, that's just impeccable. The first inaugural class awarded 33 students with a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree. And as of right now, from this school, you are represented in 47 states and in the District of Columbia. But you know what's more important? You're in 46 of the 55 counties in West Virginia, and that is remarkable. It's evident that the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine and the highly qualified and well-prepared graduate it produces are making a difference here at home. As each of you know, our state's medical challenges are not limited to the availability of quality health care. We, like many other states, are fighting a war on prescription drug abuse, health epidemics that plague our residents, cancer, cardiovascular disease, stroke, and obesity-related diseases. As a doctor, this is your charge. This is your responsibility, but this is your privilege. These battles will not be easy to overcome, and it'll take all of us working together to make a difference. And when I say all of us, I do not mean just those in this profession. It'll take communities, the state, to help change the health and welfare of our residents. On behalf of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission, I can assure you that the world-class education you received on this campus will serve you and your patients well. Later today, when you recite the osteopathic oath with Dr. Pence, listen to the words, May you forever be reminded of that oath as you begin a journey that is going to last a lifetime. May that journey bring you enough happiness to know you've made a difference and enough sadness to make you humble and compassionate. This is my wish for the graduating class of the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine in 2013. Glad to have you among us, guys. Get out there and have fun.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I just want to say to Dr. Edelman, it's a pleasure to join the football team last night. I got my first jersey, but for some reason, I didn't get one of those baseball caps that my commissioners got. So, you know, it's kind of a little conspicuous to wear this thing down the street. So hopefully someday I'll get one of those. You have the wrong age. Again, it's a pleasure. Chairman Hendrickson, Vice Chair Berry, on behalf of the state's higher education system, including this great institution, I want to thank you for being here today, for your service and dedication to students. Chairman Fink, members of the Board of Governors, and President Edelman, thank you for your service and for the invitation to be here today. This past month, I've had the honor and privilege of traveling across the state of West Virginia and participating in ceremonies among graduates at all levels. I could not be more excited than to be here today. Excited to celebrate this institution and what it has become, and graduates, to celebrate you and what you have become and will become in the years ahead. Graduates, you have accomplished what many dare to even dream. You are here today with your loved ones to celebrate an academic and professional milestone. Today is where you formally celebrate your education and how it changes all of us. Education, especially a college and professional education, as you've now achieved, provides a means to think critically and differently about ourselves and about the world around us. A college education is not an end, but merely a means to achieving and reaching one's full potential in finding one's passion in life. Education is the key to a richer, fuller life. As I look at this audience, I feel such energy and enthusiasm. Members of the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine class of 2013, so much opportunity lies before you. I have no doubt that each of you are ready to step out on your own and realize your dreams, beginning your service as practicing physicians. But like so many good things in life, that success will continue to require work and enormous persistence. Graduates, each of you face a workforce and a professional practice that is shifting and evolving at a rate never before experienced. Today's modern workforce is not comprised of individuals who start at a particular company or hospital or practice and many decades later retire from that same place or practice. Graduates, you have the opportunity to work in multiple settings, different organizations, and many of you may open your own practice all throughout the course of your career. The United States is in a global race to educate and train our citizens to compete in a highly technical, knowledge-driven economy, and we must innovate or be left behind. You will have the opportunity to participate in that technological change in the practice of medicine, perhaps innovating and creating your own technologies or therapies along the way. As a first-generation college student from a rural town in West Virginia, I too know firsthand that life is not about where you came from, but where you're going and what you set out to achieve. In fact, education gives you an opportunity to learn not just about the world around you or your chosen profession, but about yourself. In fact, when I graduated from college, I never dared dream of the path my professional career and personal life have taken. And, quite frankly, a life I never thought possible. You too will be surprised and challenged by the career you are embarking upon today. The lesson is that each challenge is in fact an opportunity, and every opportunity allows you to fulfill your dreams and find your passion in life. In choosing to walk across this stage today, you've already demonstrated a commitment to education. And I know your families, your guests, and all those here today feel an enormous sense of pride in your accomplishments. Let your experience today be the catalyst for your continued pursuit of education and lifelong learning, and to fuel for your continued success wherever that may lead you. Let your experience today also symbolize the connection to the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. Your alma mater is a true jewel in the state's higher education system. This institution has grown and expanded beyond the hopes and expectations of many. This institution serves as a critical link to the community in the availability and delivery of quality health care, while serving as an active member of the state's higher education community by creating partnerships with the state's other colleges and universities to provide new opportunities for students and the state's citizens. Graduates, you should be proud to be a part of the legacy of this world-class institution that continues to make strides in service. Service to the discipline, service to the faculty, staff, and students, service to the community, service to the state and beyond. You will forever remain connected to this great institution, and it will remain a symbol of your past, your present, and your future. The West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine will continue to be at your side and forever a part of your life. In closing, graduates, never give up and never stop learning as you begin your practice and professional career. And may today be the beginning of life's new journey, an opportunity for every challenge and a great adventure filled with purpose. Thank you.
Well, please join me in thanking all three of our keynote speakers today. I would now like to introduce the president of the class of 2013, Megan Thompson, who will deliver the class address. Megan?
Good morning, President Edelman, members of the faculty, the Board of Governors, honored guests, family and friends, and the class of 2013. Welcome. I am honored and blessed to have the opportunity to speak with you all today and reflect on the accomplishments of these graduates. We have all taken unique roads to arrive to this important destination today. Some of us left past careers, while others of us came directly from college. Some of us came from wild and wonderful West Virginia, while others traveled from many cities across the United States. No matter what path we traveled upon before entering medical school, we all joined together on this common road. In August of 2009, we arrived in Lewisburg, ready to tackle any challenges in front of us. That first challenge would be medical terminology. That test gave us a glimmer of hope that medical school may not be like drinking from a fire hose after all. That feeling was short-lived as reality hit on the first day of gross anatomy. Anatomy quickly consumed us as we tried to balance dissection times in the lab with going over lecture PowerPoints. Thoughts of muscle insertions and blood supplies were ubiquitous in our lives. The great Aristotle once said, "They can't tag that, can they?" Let me tell you, they can, and they did. With tags like the incus bone viewed through an open skull and plastinations of the pelvic floor, it was easy to see how we felt overwhelmed. Anatomy eventually ended, but the onslaught did not. Anatomy was replaced with biochemistry and histology, which were followed by physiology and neuroanatomy. It was a time of survival and the beginning of friendships that will last the rest of our lives. After most of us spent a summer away from Lewisburg, we migrated back with more certainty of what may lie ahead. We were confident that second year would be better with the beginning of the systems-based curriculum. We had become experts in managing our study time and eventually found moments to include fun things like Friday nights at the pub, red box rentals, and day trips to the Greenbrier. Studying for systems slowly transitioned into studying for Step 1 boards. Our preclinical years came to a close, and most of us left the coolest small town in America for our various statewide campus sites. Our clinical years began with family medicine rotations. After feeling confident and self-assured on campus during our second year, we were quickly reminded that we stood at the bottom of the hierarchy of medicine. During our rotations, we became accustomed to the practice of pimping. Questions were pegged at us and we were expected to have answers. When we answered incorrectly, we usually heard the phrase, "Look it up and tell me tomorrow." Thus, our nights were filled with reading in order to hopefully answer just that one question on the following day. However, every agonizing and torturous moment of third and fourth year were matched by many more positive ones. We were able to hold a patient's hand for the first time and rejoice in the birth of a new baby. We continued from family medicine onto surgery, internal medicine, pediatrics, and many others. Our clinical experiences helped us navigate the forks in the road to decide which field of medicine made us come alive. A couple days ago, I hung up my short white coat for the final time. Our short white coats will always represent the experiences we had throughout medical school. Those ink stains on the pockets, the blood stains on the side, the amniotic fluid from our first delivery, the tear stains when we lost a patient. These coats will carry with them the stories that only medical school can write. Soon we will be putting on new white coats, long white coats, that represent the doctors we have become. Today, Today, we would like to extend a special thanks to the WVSOM faculty and the staff who helped us navigate on this road through medical school. We would also like to thank our families and friends for all their support. I would like to close with a quote by Dr. Seuss. "Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Wow. Thank you, Megan. Brings tears to my eyes. Really does. Will the faculty, administrative staff, and WVSOM employees please stand? Class of 2013, in recognition of all the hard work done by these individuals on your behalf, in recognition of their wisdom, guidance, and support during your 4 years at WVSOM, please join me in giving these faculty and staff members a hand. And I would be very remiss if I didn't recognize several very important groups of people without whom this morning's ceremony would not be possible. The work and preparation put forth on countless tasks have made this morning's celebration a success. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking our maintenance and ground crews, our housekeeping staff, media services, communications, and all the individual staff members who put this event together. If you would all please stand. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, okay. And now for the presentation of the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, I ask Dr. Lorenzo Pence, our dean, to join me at the podium. Which side do you want to be on? There? Okay, that's fine.
Well, good morning. What a great-looking group here. Greetings and congratulations to the class of 2013. This is such an exciting day for all of you and your families, and I'm so honored to be part of it. 28 years ago, I sat in one of those chairs as I anxiously awaited to hear my name called to receive that diploma and become an alumnus of WVSOM. I want you to know that all the hours of studying and hard work have indeed been worth it, and you are entering a noble profession. I want to extend my congratulations and best wishes to you and all, and welcome you to the osteopathic profession. I know you will carry yourselves well as you begin your postgraduate training and continue to create wonderful reputations for yourselves as well as WVSOM. And now, will the graduating class please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, those candidates wearing the gold stoles represent the top 10% of the class and are graduating with academic honors. Dr. Edelman, the men and women standing before you have fulfilled all the requirements as prescribed by the American Osteopathic Association, the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, and by the faculty of the school. I therefore present them to you for conferring the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with all of the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the first row proceed in this direction and every row following? Dr. Fisk and Dr. Warden.
As we're lining up, I want everybody, all the students to know that Dr. Ward and I are very honored to be able to participate in your graduation by announcing names today. And we have practiced these names over and over. If we get one wrong, please forgive us.
Don't forget to project.
Okay. Katie Afshar will be hooded by John Mills, D.O.
Yeah, Molly's here. Molly's here.
Julie Alderson will be hooded by Molly Mesmer, Ph.D.
Photo. Copy the photos.
Sabla Ali will be hooded by Art Rubin, D.O. Adriana Amarillo will be hooded by her uncle, Gino Farina, M.D. Jonathan Anderson will be hooded by Art Rubin, D.O. Kelly Apgar will be hooded by her father, David Apgar, D.O. Karen Adinian will be hooded by Peter Ward, Ph.D. Laura Ball will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, D.O. Anthony Basil will be hooded by Colleen Winters, PhD. Maria Jose Benencaza will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. Corey Bennett will be hooded by her aunt, Suzanne Bennett, J.D. Rachel Bexter-Mueller will be hooded by her aunt, Sarah Wiesman, M.D. James William Bishop will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. Emily Booth will be hooded by Malcolm Mazurkowski, Ph.D. Kevin James Brenzy will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Jonathan Brown will be hooded by Catherine Chua, D.O., and Philip Chua, D.O.
That one almost caught me.
Christine Nicole Brown will be hooded by Michaela Kessler, D.O. Joseph Brogina will be hooded by his father, Vitold Brogina, MD. Dustin Buchanan will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Jane Bush will be hooded by Mark Waddell, DO. Lena Cafigo will be hooded by her uncle, James Hess, D.O. Andrew Carmichael will be hooded by his brother, Matthew Carmichael, D.O. Megan Michelle Chanumba will be hooded by Herbert Ogia, D.O. Usman Chowdhury will be hooded by David Leach, D.O.
Charles Richard Clifton will be hooded by Robert Gunn, D.O. Joni Klein will be hooded by Lindsay Bartram, D.O. Mai Cooper will be hooded by Mark McDaniel, DO. Jennifer Cornwell will be hooded by Aaron Blevins, DO. Nicholas Costanza will be hooded by Art Rubin, DO.
I think we need a little more.
Michael Cunningham will be hooded by Kiran Patel, MD. David Nicholas Dado will be hooded by Ivan Chernev, MD. Tyler Davis will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, DO. Caitlin Deering will be hooded by her mother, Jody Flanders, DO, and her father, James Deering, DO. Lisa Denardi will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Brittany Dingus will be hooded by Kenneth Ambrose, PhD. Guy Dooley will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Mark Dodson will be hooded by Michael Muscari, DO. Corey Dubose will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO, and his brother Kyle Dubose will be hooded by Mark Harko, DO. Elizabeth Ejito will be hooded by Mark Harko, DO. Max Feinstein will be hooded by his mother, Lena Feinstein, MD. Ashley Semensky Fell-Pell will be hooded by William Lemley, DO. Claire Fell-Pell will be hooded by William Lemley, DO. Tristan Flack will be hooded by his cousin, David Flack, DO. Jameson Fleming will be hooded by his mother, Laura Marple, PhD, DDS. Kaylin McKenna Frank will be hooded by Andrea Izzo, PhD. William Fredericks will be hooded by his brother, David Fredericks, DPT. Stephanie Galuk will be hooded by her significant other, Louis Polly, DC. Ricardo Garcia will be hooded by Robert Foster, DO.
David Geisinger will be hooded by Peter Ward, PhD.
Jana Gemelos will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, DO. William Samuel George will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, DO. Karen Giovanetti will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Salome Gogoberidze will be hooded by Laura Marple, PhD, DDS. Julianne Gompers will be hooded by Marianne Cater, DO, and Robert Vonner, MD. Margaret Green will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, DO. Devin Hale will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Benjamin Hall will be hooded by David Leach, DO. Travis Hammond will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, DO. Jeremy Hampton will be hooded by Charles McClung, DO. David Hansen will be hooded by his father-in-law, Jay Liu, MD. Isaac Hardoon will be hooded by Michael Edelman, DO, DPM, JD. Marianne Hennen will be hooded by her father, Rafat Girgis, MD. Robert Dean Heron will be hooded by his uncle, Michael Maroney, MD. Ike Hirama will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Mike Hawks will be hooded by Dave Scott, DO. Cody Craig Honnell will be hooded by Gary Knepp, DO.
Stephen Hypes will be hooded by Peter Ward, PhD. Ben Michael Idowu will be hooded by his father, Benedict E. Idowu, D.O. Jennifer Jo Jamrog will be hooded by her grandfather-in-law, Harry Lynn Moore, MD. Marcus Rodney Jarrell will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, D.O. Emily Giles Azerb will be hooded by Peter Ward, PhD. Catherine Quinn Johnson will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Austin Johnston will be hooded by his grandfather, Harry Lynn Moore, M.D. Ashley Gail Jones will be hooded by Julie DeTemple, M.D. Karash Kakashani will be hooded by his father, Saeed Kakashani, M.D. Erin Suzanne Kalin will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. Andrew Frost Calno will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. Sheetal Kayestha will be hooded by Michael Edelman, D.O., DPM, J.D. Adam Edwin Kobialka will be hooded by Michael Maroney, M.D. Michael Andrew Koloski will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Michael Patrick Crease will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Renee Kneff will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. Jessica Eve Kunkel will be hooded by Matthew White, Ph.D. Dimitar Risti Leskovsky will be hooded by his brother, Jovan Leskovsky, M.D. Jamie Christopher Latos will be hooded by his sister, Ashley Latos Tosi, M.D. Caitlin Lee Guerin will be hooded by Richard Bransford, M.D. Jennifer Lee will be hooded by her father, Owen Lee, M.D. Autumn Lynn Lemley will be hooded by her father, William Minor, D.O. Adam Levno will be hooded by his brother, Mark Levno, RPH Farm D. Bo Links will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Laura Lockwood will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Kelly Allen Lopez will be hooded by her father, David Allen, D.O. Winnie Liu will be hooded by her father, J. Liu, M.D. Matthew Luthman will be hooded by Ivan Chernev, M.D. Stacy Diane Maddox will be hooded by Edward Dugan, Ph.D., and Malcolm Modrzakowski, Ph.D. Henry Frank Maynor III will be hooded by his stepfather, Greg Waller, MD. Charles Martin will be hooded by David Leach, DO. Keisha Martin will be hooded by her brother, Kyle Martin, PhD. Fatima Masyumova will be hooded by her husband, Eugene Belanitsky, JD. Corey Mathias will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Deborah Lynn Mathis will be hooded by her sister, Suzanne Miles, DO. Kimberly Matthews will be hooded by Willoughby Lacey, DMD. Rebecca Scott McConnell will be hooded by her mother, Victoria Scott McConnell, EDD. Mark Lewis Mesmer will be hooded by his brother, Michael Mesmer, DO. April Marie Miller will be hooded by Wendy Wilcoxon, DO. Kelly Ann Miller will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Natasha Monfort will be hooded by her cousin, Don Johnson, MD. Deanna Elise Mazzolati will be hooded by her brother, Adam Saad Mazzolati, MD. Brinkman Murray will be hooded by William Lemley, DO. Kyle Muscari will be hooded by his father, Michael Muscari, DO. Joshua J. Natali will be hooded by his aunt, Jean Natali, PhD. Danielle Elizabeth Neal will be hooded by her father, Thomas Neal, MD.
Stewart North will be hooded by William Lemley, D.O.
One addition for her, we're adding a hooder.
Justin Oring will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Bhavna Pandya Patel will be hooded by her father-in-law, Jaimini Patel, MD, and friend, Burgundry Stanley, MD. Annie Park will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Jeremy Parsons will be hooded by his father-in-law, Robert Heflin, MD. Ketan Patel will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Neil Patel will be hooded by his father, Anil Patel, MD, and his uncle, Prakash Patel, MD. Ravi Patel will be hooded by his father, Jaimini Patel, MD. Julie Peterson will be hooded by her mother, Millie Peterson, DO, her father, Bruce Peterson, DO, and her brother, Andrew Peterson, DO. Marina Pope Schweitzer will be hooded by her husband, Michael Schweitzer, DO. Olympia Margaret Potaris will be hooded by Robert Gum, DO. Kenneth Boston Proops will be hooded by his uncle, Thomas Kadar, DDS. Diangela Dean Prunesti will be hooded by her cousin, Leslie Ferris, DO. Faraz Rahman will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, DO. David Reinert will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Wendy Temento Riddle will be hooded by Michael Edelman, DO, DPM, JD, and her husband, Travis Clayton Riddle, PhD. Lance Charles Robbins will be hooded by his brother, Liam Robbins, DVM. Derek Don Roadback will be hooded by David Roadback, PhD. Lindsay Nicole Rush will be hooded by her sisters, Sarah Grove, DO, and Erica Rush, MD. Clyde J. Rohrer III will be hooded by his father, Clyde Rohrer Jr., DO. Patrick Stephen Rush will be hooded by David Leach, DO. Ibrahim Sabag will be hooded by his father, Abdul Malek Sabag, and his brother, Mohammed Sabag, MD. Gabrielle Sakellarides will be hooded by Robert Gum, DO, and her mother, Maria Sakellarides, AUD. Henry Sinclair Sanders will be hooded by his father, Richard Sanders III, MD. Danielle Schaefer will be hooded by Catherine Chua Dio and Philip Chua Dio. Margaret Mary Showing will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD. Jonathan Settle will be hooded by his father, Paul Settle, MD. Jashar Shakuri Rod will be hooded by his father-in-law, Jeff Braham, D.O., and his brother-in-law, Abdi Gadzi, M.D. Kathleen Christine Sharp will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Scott Allen Shelton will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Richard Shin will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Jessica Short will be hooded by her mother, Kathy Short, D.O., and her teacher, Hani Tadros, M.D. Amy Michelle Singer will be hooded by Kathy Daly, D.O. Sunil Singh will be hooded by Robert Gum, D.O. Catherine Alexandra Skursky will be hooded by her sister, Nicole Patterson, J.D. Brittany Patricia Smirnoff will be hooded by Robert Foster, D.O. Alfred Smith will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Joshua Smith will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Stephanie Lynn Snyder will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Tess Selensky will be hooded by her aunt, Isabel Holland Davis, M.D. Joseph Glenn Sorber will be hooded by Charles McClung, D.O. And Marie Stazensky will be hooded by Ralph Wood, DO. Thomas M. Stephen will be hooded by Frank Swisher, DO. Kendra Stone will be hooded by Allison Stalzer, DO. Jason Bryce Swalm will be hooded by John Schriefer, PhD.
Ryan Tauby will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, DO. Megan Rain Thompson will be hooded by her stepfather, Jerome Lacey, MD. Saskia Thompson will be hooded by Ellie Coonrod, DO. Ryan Ty will be hooded by Craig Boisvert, DO. Nicholas James Tomasello will be hooded by Robert Gum, D.O. Alexander Torres will be hooded by his uncle Elvis Torres, D.O. Shushroot Regenagant Uskonker will be hooded by his father, R.S. Uskonker, M.D. Kevin David Valvano will be hooded by Ralph Wood, D.O. Derek Wagoner will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Courtney Julia Walker will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, D.O. Christopher Hatton Webb will be hooded by his father, Robert Webb, M.D. Elizabeth Lauren Weeks will be hooded by John Schriefer, Ph.D. Kimberly Lorraine Williams will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, DO, and Christine Chateau, DPT. Jessica Dawn Wilson will be hooded by Jessamine Foscardo Marshall, DO. Candace Jill Wise will be hooded by Gail Feinberg, DO. Jared Michael Warshell will be hooded by his father, Jason Warshell, MD. David Lewis Ray will be hooded by Victoria Schumann, DO. Patrick Wright will be hooded by his father, William Wright, MD. Andrea Werzer will be hooded by John Garlitz, DO. Brandon Yan will be hooded by William Lemley, DO. Adam Nathaniel Young will be hooded by David Leach, D.O. And last, but certainly not least, Ashley Brooke Zawodniak will be hooded by her pastor, Jeff Overstreet, D.C. Dr. Pence, would you please come to the podium and administer the osteopathic oath?
Thank you. What a great looking class! Candidates, please stand and repeat the osteopathic oath after me. I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I am about to enter. I will be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and the life of my patients. To retain their confidence and respect, both as a physician and a friend. Who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity. To perform faithfully my professional duties. To employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability. Keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I will be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community. Sustaining its laws and institutions. Not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drugs for deadly purposes to any person, though it may be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation. And never by word or by act cast imputations upon them or their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon those who have taught me my art. To my college I will be loyal. and strive always for its best interest, and for the interest of the students who will come after me. I will be ever alert to further the application of basic biological truths to the healing arts. And to develop the principles of osteopathy, which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still. Graduates of the class of 2013, you may now move your tassels to the left. And that, my colleagues, brings you to the close of this ceremony. Faculty, guests, families, and friends, please join me in welcoming the newest members of the osteopathic community. Graduates and guests, please remain in your seats while the platform party, faculty, and graduates march out. Graduates will gather to the right in front of the main building for the traditional hat toss. Family and friends are invited to join the WVSOM family in this time-honored tradition. Immediately afterwards, all of our guests are invited to join us for a reception at the Roland P. Sharp Alumni Center and in the main building. We hope that you also tour the campus. The buildings and the bookstore will be open for touring most of the afternoon. Maestro, strike up the band.
It's a pediatrician thing, I think. I gotta go over there. Okay.
Oh, you're lucky you got a son with that.
Thank you.
Right there in front of us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Congratulations.
50 feet.
Oh, sorry.
Get on the other side of it.
Done. No, no one else likes to be.
I'm gonna fake my.
I gotta do a hat toss. Here, you can have this.
I had a little Nutella on my English muffin this morning, leaving nothing.
1, 2, 3.
I was the guy to go for the scenes. 3 more years together.
I think we can